Hi everyone, this is Lori from My File Addiction. So today I'm going to talk about a few different topics. I'm going to talk about after you have downloaded a purchased file onto your computer, how to unzip it, how to open the files, view file extensions, and then using your a few different design programs to actually bring in the file format. So I'm going to work with this Real Moms of Football, and you can see the file extension is a zip file, which means you can see it says it's a compressed zip folder. So that means that this file contains a bunch of different files that have been compressed to make it smaller into one file. So the files cannot be used until we actually decompress this folder, and we do that by extracting the files. So if you go in here, you can kind of see that there are 6 different files in here. So we can you can double click on the file and you can hit the extract all, or you could actually go back to, you could right click. There is an extract all here, or if you just highlight and select it, you should see, I thought there was an extract all at the top here, but maybe I was wrong. But anyways, so I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit extract all. And basically what this is going to do is this is going to create a duplicate folder within this file folder. Within the video file folder that I have set up here. So we're going to, if we select extract, if this box is checked here, it's going to say show extracted files when complete. So that means it's automatically going to open up to my extracted file. So we select extract. And now if we go back to the video files folder, you can see here's our zip folder at the bottom. And then at the top here is now our unzip folder, which no longer has a zipper on it, and it doesn't have that .zip file extension. So now this is the file that we need to use in order to open up our SVGs or EPS files. So a lot of people, what they do is they go to this file and they want to directly click on one of these file formats. What this is going to do is this is going to bring the file up in your web browser. It's not going to bring it up in your design program, which is ultimately where you want the file to end up. So when you do this, I'm going to show you a few different scenarios on when you collect the SVG file, what can happen. And it doesn't mean that these are bad files. It just means that whatever program that designed that file, it can't open your internet browser can't open the file that way by just clicking on it. So I'm going to click on this, and you can see, yes, you can view this file and you can see what it looks like or whatnot, but it's in our internet browser, so it's not in our design program. So I'm going to go back to this folder, and I'm going to select this 8-inch or football 8-inch SVG file. If I double click on that, now I get a bunch of random coding. It looks like it's a bad file. But I'm going to show you when I use a different program to open this up, you're going to see that it's a valid file. But the program that made that SVG file, you cannot just click and use your internet browser to view that file. Here is another one. I am a survivor. I click this. It looks like it's a blank file. Looks like nothing's there. So I've had a lot of customers say there's no file attached. But you actually, if you scroll and use your scroll thing, your bars here, you can actually see that the file is here but it's located way far outside the viewing area. So let's go back to our file folder. Another question I get is a lot of people can't locate an SVG file. And the problem is sometimes these file extensions are cut off. So in our in this window here, you can select View, and then this will allow you to change your the way you view your files. So a lot of times it defaults to what they call the Details option. And I get a lot of people saying, well, you know, this is a Chrome document and they're not SVG files. Well, in most cases, sometimes you'll have it where your file, the full file names are not shown, and all people see is this Chrome type. All that means is your internet browser, whatever internet browser you're using, has actually kind of overridden that SVG file and made it a Chrome document. Doesn't mean that it's not an SVG file. It is, but for some reason, it just changes to your internet browser. But if you were able to fully see the file extension, which you can do by hovering your cursor and then holding down your left click, and dragging this column open, you can actually see all the file extensions. Another view, which kind of simplifies things, is going to your list. It doesn't give you different columns, so you don't have to worry about opening up that column because it doesn't cut off the file names. But this view is kind of simplified, and it will show you the full file name with the extensions. This particular view doesn't always pop up every time you go to open a file. So I'm going to show you different locations that you're gonna look for those the option to change your view. Let's see. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into Cricut Design Space, because those particular customers tend to have the most issues locating files, and opening files. So I'm going to select a new tab here. I'm going to go into my Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to open that up. Select New Project. And I have not updated to the desktop beta group, so I'm just going to select Maybe Later. And I'm going to go into Upload Image. I'm going to go to Browse. And then in most cases, you're going to go to the file folder where you saved your the file you want to open. You'll highlight that, click on it, select Open. And then with Cricut users, your program, the Design Space program, does not support standard SVG files. There's too many objects that make up a rhinestone file. So if you select just a regular standard SVG file, chances are it's going to be too large. So it's either going to lock up your program or possibly take a long time to come into your program. And then once it does, you can't ungroup anything. So what I'm starting to do for my Cricut users is the files need to be formatted and simplified. So sometimes you will see a Cricut Brother.svg file, which is my newest version since the June-July 2019 update that Design Space did. This version will come with dimensions for the file because Design Space is resizing some of the files. My older version just has Cricut, And those are still formatted the correct way, but larger files, if they exceed 23.5 inches wide for the entire file, Design Space is shrinking those. So that is a whole nother issue, and you would have to contact me for the resizing information. If when you open the file, it sizes to 23.5 inches, whether it be the width or the height. Chances are you're going to have an issue. So I'm going to select my Cricut file here. I'm going to select, before I do this, now we noticed here, if I want to change the view, if this didn't come in for the simplified view, over to the right hand side is an icon here with a little arrow. This is your the way you can view your files. So this will change your the way you view it, and then you can select list if you want, if you're having a problem finding that Cricut Brother file. So we select it, we go to open, and then we are going to hit select save. Then we select the file, select insert image, and this brings up the file. As you can see, it's 22.466 by 12.033, which if this was 23.5, I would say that the file has been resized, but since it's not, it's probably going to be correct. But what we need to do is we need to ungroup this. And then here I put a note, each template should measure 10.492 by 10.473. So if I select an individual template, and I can see that those are the exact dimensions right here. You can see the sizes right here and also at the top here. So then you can delete this and then cut your files. Let's see. So another program is the Silhouette program. So what I'm going to do here is I launched my program. I'm going to go into File. I'm going to go into Open. And I'm going to show you that this football 8-inch SVG file is a valid file. That was the one that came up with all that coding. And actually, you know what, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to File, Open again. And okay, so when we selected the Open option, there's our Change View option is in the same area that our Cricut file, when we open our Cricut file. So let's go back to this, select OK again. And sometimes sometimes it depends upon the file, what program the file was created in. A file might open outside of your viewing area and it might look like it's blank. So what you need to do is you can zoom way out and you can look for that file. So all you need to do is select the file, bring it over to your mat, open up your page setup panel, and then click on your mat size tab, and it zooms back in. And then this file is grouped together, so you can left click, ungroup, and then as you can see, all the objects are individual. So the last one is the Shortcuts a Lot program. Now this one, you go into File, and then you go into Import. And now this, the view panel, the view menu is over on this side of the screen, where the other two were over here. So there's just a few different locations that you can find that panel in. And then again, if you select this, it gives you the different options to change to viewing your files. So we're going to go to List, And then this one, I'm going to go into the I'm a Survivor SVG. This particular view allows you to see what the file will look like. We're going to go into, select the file, select open, and as you can see, the file came in just fine. I'm going to right click, ungroup, and now these are individual objects. Actually, individual objects. So I hope this video kind of solves a lot of the issues. I know it's a lot of information all in one file and in one video, but I get asked these questions over and over and over again, so I kind of wanted to show everything together. So hopefully this will help troubleshoot a lot of problems that you have depending on what software program you're using. So I hope all this information is helpful. Thank you.